And I just want to confirm a few things with Fiona. How would you describe the event?
It's big.
I mean, in terms of savings, how would you sum it up?
Big.
In your own words, with respect to selection, what would you say?
Big.
Okay, let's talk rebates.
Mike, they're big.
They're big.
Get a $100 rebate plus the low price tire guarantee during the big tire event.
So in other words, we can agree that Ford's tire event is good-sized.
Big.
Big.
Stack up the flavor. Quizno's new 6-meat deli stack is here. Freshly sliced meats from honey ham to wine-cured salami and pepperoni, stacked under melted mozzarella cheese. This sandwich is deli-licious. Quizno's.
Mischievous rain had an ominous plan, but safety was brought by the Michelin Man. Stop up to 31 feet shorter than a leading competitor with the new Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
Neighbors! We shouldn't need a GPS to find the fertilizer. We should go to Ace, where we can zip in, find what we need, and zip out.
Our speedy-sized stores help get your weekend back at Ace.
Regular grills cook like this, heating the air, which dries out the food. Only Charbroil True Infrared grills prevent flare-ups and promise much juicier food. Charbroil, True Infrared.
1 in 6. That's how many struggle with hunger in America. But what if there was a simple way to feed those in need? Now there is. Just buy select brands at Walmart's low prices during April, and you help secure meals for local families. Go to Facebook and learn more about how you can join the fight. Because hunger is a big problem, and it needs a big answer.
Take a look at these pictures. That's an overturned mobile home demolished here. Scenes from Woodward, Oklahoma. And also trucks and trees have been blown down from this tornado here. Again, preliminary rating of an EF3 here in Woodward. Unfortunately, this tornado was a deadly one. 5 people killed, 29 injured. And we're talking nearly 100 homes and businesses damaged or destroyed because of that tornado.
Time now 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. You're watching a special extended edition of Weather Center Live. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. Well, basically 24 hours after a major tornado outbreak across the plains, and we're still dealing with the risk of severe weather, including tornadoes right now. That is why we are staying with you live all night to keep you and your family safe and up to date.
And we want to get you the very latest information on what already took place, especially last night.
In fact, the tornadoes killed 5 people, as I mentioned, in Woodward, Oklahoma, including 3 children, and injured 29 others. Reports say the tornado sirens did not sound ahead of the storm because lightning knocked the system out of commission.
Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin has declared a state of emergency in 12 counties there. A state of emergency also in effect for Sedgwick County, Kansas. The Red Cross is focusing their attention, the food, the shelter efforts to impacted areas in Kansas, Iowa, as well as Oklahoma.
And portions of the upper Midwest through the plains, even on down towards portions of the south, still dealing with the risk of severe weather. In fact, we've had warnings last hour or so from Texas all the way up to the Canadian border here. Right now, we still have tornado watches stretching from Minneapolis and also a few more around the St. Louis and Little Rock areas, and see the line of thunderstorms, which now is growing that tail. As of now, it's to the south and west of Houston, stay around Victoria, stretching all the way down towards the valley area. Those yellow outline areas are severe thunderstorm warnings, which are going on right now, mainly for hail and lots of lightning there across portions of Texas.
We want to bring in our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, for more analysis on these storms. And Greg, this time yesterday we were hopping with tornado warnings, but tonight it looks like mainly severe thunderstorms.
Yeah, it does. And I'm pretty surprised about that. There's a pretty strong low. It has gone right over the Twin Cities. It's not had quite the instability to really tap what is very strong winds aloft and very strong low-level wind shear. That is certainly a good thing. Here is the Twin Cities. Cold front is pushing through now behind that surface low. Thunderstorm line moving into west central parts of Wisconsin. Little kinks in the line, so we could be seeing some strong winds. Can't totally rule out a tornado either. Still monitoring that area as one that I'm worried about. A couple of bow echoes, the little mini line segments that have rolled across the St. Louis area, northeast and east of St. Louis. They have had at times severe warnings on them, so we'll continue to watch possibly some lines down around Belleville, the Scott Air Force Base area, heading over toward the Vernon area, and then off toward the northeast of St. Louis. We'll continue to monitor that bow echo heading off to the northwest of the Effingham area toward the Carlinville area, but seems to be a little bit below severe thresholds at this point. A couple of these little line segments north and east of Little Rock up toward the Jonesboro, Arkansas area, the Paragould, the Kennett areas, could be some local lines down there, and so have your flashlights handy. Where it's most unstable, the warmest, most moist at this point is areas down south and east of Houston. Winds, though, are very light, so these storms just mulling around from near Victoria down to the Kingsville area and then all the way down to Zapata. We'll move into this one. This cluster near Victoria has been mulling around. It has one of these backwards bow echoes on it, but it's not moving very fast. What we've seen out of this at times is some golf ball size hail. So that core of storms heading toward the Blessings area, the Wadsworth area, the Port Lavaca, the Palacios area. Watch out for the possibility of hail and maybe a spotty damaging wind coming in there. Now, I mentioned Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, the surface low. It's pretty strong. It's amazing. Fortunate that some of that earlier rain has cooled things down. The instability today is only about 20% of what we had today, yesterday in Kansas and parts of Oklahoma. So that is why we're not able to tap what is pretty strong winds. The upper level jet stream, 140 miles per hour, blasting right up into there. That triangular sector between the cold and the warm fronts normally is prime for tornadoes, but it's not quite unstable enough to tap all those wind energy. So I've been decreasing the torque on. I'm still reluctant to go too far below a 5 for that warm front area there of western parts of Wisconsin, extreme southeast Minnesota, but I may have to diminish that. The rest of the area, it's a little shifting winds along these little line segments. Can't totally rule out a tornado, but they're usually brief and they're almost needle in a haystack kind of things. Tomorrow, again, a diminishing tornado threat. The cold front will push east, warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, but it'll be from the southwest. The winds a few thousand feet above ground. They'll be fast, but from the southwest. And the jet stream, the jet aircraft altitude winds from the southwest. Not much turning, so not much of a tornado threat tomorrow. Up in the Ohio Valley, under that low-level jet, a little stronger wind threat. We call these storms in the Gulf Coast pop-up storms. They go up almost vertically in light winds. They get top-heavy. The heavy rain and some hail come down out of it. You get a local wind gust, a lot of cloudburst rain, some lightning in these red shaded areas, but not widespread severe. Spotty damaging winds, power lines down, perhaps from northwest parts of New England down into maybe Cleveland, Columbus, and northeast parts of Kentucky. So fortunately, we're past prime time. The biggest danger for tornadoes is over. It's not quite done yet, but it certainly diminishes tomorrow and then into Tuesday. Paul, Kelly?
We are glad to hear that, Greg. Thank you so much. And of course, we have a team of meteorologists who are out there in the hardest hit areas from last night.
And Eric Fisher has been in Woodward, Oklahoma, where a preliminary EF3 tornado struck in the early morning hours, killing 5 people.
Well, last night, just after midnight, one of the most dangerous